This is going to be a video about the structure of the cell. A good place to start would be the cellular membrane. It's something that all cells have. It separates the cell from the outside world. I'm going to label that. It is selectively permeable to ions and organic molecules, and it controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is the DNA. So this right here is the DNA. I'm drawing it in its chromatin form. Also in the DNA there's going to be little proteins, little RNAs. That's what these green squiggles are. DNA encodes the genetic instructions used in the development and functioning of all known living organisms. And let's label that. Now, all cells have DNA and a cellular membrane. So far, the cell that I've drawn, it could be any kind of cell. It could be a fungi cell, it could be a bacteria cell, or it could be an elephant cell. Now, the next thing I'm going to draw is a nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane, together with the DNA, is the nucleus. Now, this is a major division within life. Not all cells have a nucleus. When scientists were first able to see cells under a microscope, they noticed that some of them had a membrane around their DNA and others did not. The ones with a membrane around their DNA were called eukaryotes. The eukaryotes had a nucleus. Then we had prokaryotes. Those are the cells with no nucleus. Now there are two kinds of prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells can be either bacteria or archaea, but it turns out that this is not actually the best way to classify organisms. If we were to draw a phylogenetic tree, which we are going to draw one as it turns out, we would see that bacteria actually branches off the tree first. Later on, archaea branches off, and this last branch is eukaryote, which is us, that's me or you. So, if a cell has a nucleus, it is a eukaryotic cell. If it does not have a nucleus, it is a prokaryotic cell. So these, pro. Alright, so archaea, phylogenetically, are actually more closely related to eukaryotes than they are to bacteria. But archaea and bacteria, because they both lack a nucleus, are considered prokaryotic cells. Now, eukaryotic cells, of course, can be plants, animals, or fungi. There's also another very diverse group of eukaryotes that are sometimes referred to as protists. The group protists is not a specific animal kingdom like animals are. Protists are a very diverse group of phyla that do not easily fit into other categories. Many are not very closely related through evolution. Now, another thing that I can label here now is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a gel-like substance enclosed within the cell membrane. All of the contents of the cells of prokaryotic organisms are contained within the cytoplasm. Within the cells of eukaryotic organisms, the contents of the cell nucleus are separated from the cytoplasm. So you might ask, what happens to the DNA that is in the cell? Well, in eukaryotes, the DNA is transcribed into messenger RNA, or mRNA, by the enzyme RNA polymerase. This happens in the nucleus. So, we have DNA gets transcribed into mRNA. This happens in the nucleus. The mRNA leaves the nucleus and attaches to a ribosome. Now, ribosomes are going to be these little green dots I'm now drawing on the cell. Ribosomes are complex molecular machines made up of RNA and protein. Ribosomes are present in all cells and can be floating throughout the cytoplasm or attached to other structures within the cell. They take the mRNA from the nucleus and translate it into proteins by linking amino acids together in the order specified by the mRNA. So the mRNA, it goes to the ribosomes, and from the ribosomes, you get protein.